What is up, guys? I hope you are well today. Today we're taking a look at Entitled Parents. I've only just recently discovered this one, and it's juicy. I like it. But yeah, if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button. As I always say, it makes a massive difference to a tiny channel like mine. It really does. I can't stress that enough. And I really appreciate your time and your support. Thank you, guys. My family was fortunate to have a large backyard with a pool. We lived in a very urban city and it was rare to have that much space, but our home was passed down for decades and a hidden gem. It was nothing crazy, a large 5-foot deep, above ground pool someone was selling on Craigslist. My parents were on a severe budget, we lived from paycheck to paycheck, and they thought by having a pool, we, my younger brother, sister and I, would be entertained most of the summer without having to go to spend any money. One summer day we were all playing outside in the yard, not in the pool, when two young boys we've never met, they were African American, not that it matters in general, but perhaps to the story, start walking up our driveway. Our driveway is fairly long and nestled in between my house and the neighbour's house, so very little of my backyard is visible from the street, and the pool wasn't at all. We say hi and notice these kids, about my age, and are in swim trunks and have a towel over their shoulders. They are very sweet from what I can remember, and say hi back and ask if they can swim in our pool. As children we had no idea what to say, so one of my siblings ran to get our mother inside. She comes out and says, "I'm sorry boys, but this isn't a public pool. There is a public pool just one street over, it's very clean and costs $1 to use." Prior to us having a pool, we had to use a public pool, so we're very familiar with it. The boys say okay, and 10 minutes later we see them walking up our driveway again, and this time they have their father with them. You'll probably see where this is going. Father asks us, "Can my sons use your pool?" To which we reply no. Our mum said that's not okay. He says, "Get your mum." So one of my siblings run in again, and my mum, this time she comes out and you can tell she's irritated. The man repeats his question, and my mum repeats her previous answer. The guy gets all huffy. "I don't understand why my children can't use the pool. Your kids aren't using it right now. It's a hot summer's day, and we're neighbours. It's not very neighbourly to say no." My mum, mouth hanging open from the gall of this guy, quickly recovers and says, "Just because my kids aren't currently using the pool doesn't mean it's open to public. I bought it, it's on my property, I pay the electricity, water and chemicals for it. And not being neighbourly, I don't even know who you are. I've never met you. You've never introduced yourself to us, and quite frankly, I don't think it's very neighbourly to use me and my children for our pool when you've never given us the time of day before." So more back and forth went on. My siblings went to go and get my dad. When he comes out, a massive 350 to 375 pounds angry Portuguese man, the guy sneers at my mum and says, "Well, it's good to know who the racists in this town are." Turns and walks away with his boys and complaining, "But you promised!" We never saw them again. I've never seen my mum so insulted, and it was my first memory of an entitled parent. There's so much wrong with that story. I don't know. We've actually had that, like when I was younger, we had a tiny back garden. It was only like, it was not a pool like they're talking about here, but we had like, as soon as you get the pool out, you get kids from everywhere and suddenly flock around it. But it's not only that, if there'd be like, I'm assuming that they'd get in trouble if their kids got injured in their pool, especially in America, you'd probably get sued to hell. So the backstory on this is that a child took his Xbox round to his friend's house so they could play together. Packing up my Xbox so I can leave. "Excuse me, what are you doing?" "Packing up my stuff." "But didn't you bring that for him to keep?" "No, it's mine, I brought it so we could play." She didn't like that answer. "Well, since it's already here, can't you just give it to him?" "No, I paid for the console." And as I start to leave the house. "Not my fault you put your money into childish things. You're too old for video games." Mind you, I'm 16. "Not my fault you can't save money to buy your child a gift." I walk out the house and EP follows me. I get on my bike, but EP tries to steal my Xbox. I slapped her hand and biked away. I never heard from her or my friend again since that day. It's sad that he lost a friend because of an entitled parent. Who does that? Jeez. I live in a neighbourhood with a small centre, a gaming club in the basement of a library that allows you to play video games with friends. Me and my bros show up there and set up my Switch and play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We usually get the occasional kid who asks to play, so we pass them a single Joy-Con. This week, me and my friends were playing a tournament. We all place bets on each other to see who loses first, who wins the tournament, etc. In the middle of the tournament, a kid walks up and pokes me. I pause the game and ask him what's up. "Can I play?" The kid didn't like my answer, so he points at the Joy-Con set on the Switch and says they're not being used. I then explained to him that we can't pause the tournament and add him mid-game, and told him he'd get his chance once we're done. Kid starts insisting that we let him play. After a few minutes of groaning from the kid, I get fed up to the point where I tell him he's not going to play. Bad move. Kid walks away, and I think that's the end of him. He comes back with his dad. His father gets in my face telling me we can't hold the video game that the centre provides. I tell him that the console is my property and thus I make the decision who gets to play on my console and who doesn't. The kid starts whining. Father is furious and explains that I have to let his son play, or report us to one of the employees. I don't give a crap, thinking that the employees would side with me about this ordeal. Boy, was I wrong. The employees tell me that I'm using their TV, therefore I need to share my console with the players here. I'm fed up, this was dumb, and one of my friends offered setting it up at his house. So we do, we begin packing everything up. The father makes the unpacking as hard as possible on us, tells us that his son deserved to play because he asked us politely. Sorry buddy, that's not how it works. We pack up and leave, sat at the game at my friend's house, and we continue playing. So my friend who we call Tegan is a vegan, and so is her family. Her daughter, who we call Ivy, made a friend at school, a sweet little girl who we call Gracie. Last week, Gracie's mum, EM, calls Tegan and asks if she could eat dinner at her house one night. Tegan says absolutely, and then responsibly asks EM if Gracie has any allergies or dietary restrictions that need to be accommodated. EM replies that Gracie does not, and that she will eat anything, especially chicken nuggets. EM tells Tegan that she can serve whatever she wants, and Gracie will eat it, no problem. So Tegan makes vegetarian chicken nuggets, which are healthy and delicious, since Gracie likes chicken nuggets so fondly. She serves them with steamed mixed veggies, sweet potato fries, and homemade bread with non-dairy butter. Gracie devours everything. She declares that these are the yummiest nuggets. I'm going to tell my mum to buy them. Later that evening, Tegan gets a call from EM. It went like this. Thanks for having Gracie. She says dinner was delicious and she really liked the chicken nuggets and wanted me to buy that kind. What brand is that? Gracie is welcome anytime. She's a pleasure. Actually, those nuggets weren't actually chicken meat. They're soy meat alternatives. I'm happy Gracie enjoyed them. The next response was not what Tegan expected. Ian went silent for a moment. You served her fake chicken. Our whole family uses vegetable-based meat alternatives. They're very healthy. Okay. I told you she liked chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets. Chicken! I didn't really think that was too difficult. I get that your family is vegan, but mine is not. You had my child over. I'm so sorry that you're not okay with that. I asked you beforehand if there's anything Gracie could not have, and you said there wasn't. I thought it was common sense. Would it really kill you to make chicken nuggets for Gracie? I'm not saying you have to eat them. I personally don't feel comfortable having my money support abuse and slaughter of animals. It's a personal thing. I'm sorry. The EM then makes a very rude comment, insulting Tegan's intelligence, morals, and accuses Tegan of trying to push veganism on Gracie. I'm so sorry. I did not realise it's going to offend you so much, but if you recall, you're the one who invited Gracie to my house. In my house, my family follows a vegan lifestyle, and we serve our guests vegan meals when they are here. And I know that you've known that we are vegan, as I made you aware of it several times. Again, I'm sorry for offending you. Gracie does not have to eat with us if you do not want her to. Wow, now you're not going to let my daughter have dinner with your family? Well, that's so rude and unfair. I cannot even believe this bullcrap. EM hangs up the phone, and Tegan is dismayed. How can Pete? What the hell? So she invites, her daughter to their house. Says she can eat whatever. The daughter actually really enjoys, the vegan food. Which is nothing wrong with vegan food, you know. I occasionally have it. I like meat as well. Nothing wrong with it. I was in the mall in the city to get some stuff set up on my new 3DS, which I got on to replace the one that had messed up. My mum was in Claire's looking at clothes and I was sitting near the fountain. There wasn't many people in the area at the time, as the mall was going to close in the next hour. I was about to start playing my copy of Pokemon Y when a kid decided to look over my shoulder. She was standing on the bench next to me and watched me play. I thought nothing of it. They weren't really bothering me. A few minutes go by and I started fighting the Elite Four once more. Then all of a sudden EM arrives and starts saying I was playing with my kid's toy and should let the HC have it. I said no, as I paid $80 for it. It was a normal small 3DS pre-owned from GS. She tried to pull it by the top of the screen out of my hand, and she did it really hard. I didn't let go right away, but instead pulled it back towards me. I realised that what I was doing would have damaged or even broken the 3DS, which I didn't want. I was going to put homebrew on it when I got home. She screamed, "You don't even have the right to play it, it's a children's game, and she wants her own." I was very close to knocking her out for touching my stuff, trying to steal my stuff and almost breaking it. I was glad I didn't, because I didn't want to get in trouble for hitting someone. Thankfully my mum ran out with her purchases and got security. The woman and the child were kicked out after they took the 3DS from her. I had to let go not to break it. Who goes up to someone and just literally tries to take stuff out of their hand for their children? It is a crazy world we're living in, you know? I babysit for one family in particular pretty regularly. Their kid is young, I think about 4, and he's pretty good for me aside from being a little whiny. Let's call him Emmett. Emmett's dad usually has him, and I pretty much always babysit over his dad's house. But one afternoon, Emmett's mum asked me if I can babysit the next day for what I think is about 12 hours-ish. I don't have any times since Em's dad works so late, so I say sure and move on with my life. The next day, Emmett is fine for me. His mum has friends over who demand I take their picture. A little rude, but I don't think about it and they soon leave. Emmett and I play outside for a bit. I feed him the pizza his mum said was for dinner. We don't make a mess or generally get anything out that we don't put away, etc. That's when shit hits the fan. Emmett's mum gets home around 12 AM, maybe, and she's definitely drunker than crap. She apologised for being later than she thought and hands me an extra $40 plus the money I was originally promised. I tried refusing the extra since she was drunk, but she insisted. She brought her friends in with her, and as soon as she goes to bed, they tear into me. They all go around pointing out my mistakes, interrogating me. What did you guys do? Did you even hang out with him at all? Did you even talk to him? I babysit the kid all the time. He loves me. Of course I talked and hung out with him. This place is a mess. You always leave the house cleaner than when you got there. No bitch. I'm being paid to make sure this kid doesn't run out in the street while you're out drinking. Both Emmett's mum and dad have stated that I do not need to clean. And the house was literally a mess before I got there. Aside from the extra $40, that was a surprise, I was getting paid to babysit, and babysit only. You fed him pizza. He's 4. He can't eat pizza. Why would you feed him pizza? Do I even need to explain? As soon as Emmett's mum went to bed with him, they cornered me in the living room. I was waiting for an Uber, telling me that I should be grateful for what I earned and didn't deserve any of it because I was a terrible babysitter and that I should know better by now. I'm a really soft-willed person, so all I can muster at the time is, I am grateful. I managed not to cry in front of them, which ended me with crying in some woman's car. She drove me home and offered me candy because I don't think she knew what else to do. Me and my dog were walking past your house the other day. The dog growled at us. Hope you and your mum are taking good care of her. Me shook. Oh God, really, I'm so sorry. She's never done that before. Well, my daughter is an excellent dog trainer. She can train any dog, and your dog is so beautiful. How about we take her off your hands? You have enough on your plate with exams and your cats. No, it's okay. I know what I'm doing. My daughter was really keen on her, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to let her down. This was particularly evil because she knew how vulnerable I was mentally at the time. I would have done anything to get someone not to dislike me. Standing up myself for the first time ever. No, honestly, you can't have her. Miss EP, she's my dog. Huffing. Don't be so rude, RJ. My daughter does animal behaviour in college. She'll turn that vicious dog into a good pet for our family. Plus, I already bought her a bed and food for her. I'm sorry she growled, but she's still my dog. I can take her to dog training myself if I need be. This went on, and she even offered me £300 for the dog, which I declined. I had a panic attack in the toilets and got sent home. Turned out, when I told my mum about our dog growling, she'd seen a woman trying to pull the dog over the gate by her collar, and my dog yelping because they were holding her by the scruff. Mum had gone out to confront them, but she shuffled away before she could get to the gate. Oh wow, so this person actually bought like a dog bed and dog food in preparation for trying to steal someone's dog. The person should be arrested.